Hello again. So, depending on traffic, we live about 10 minutes drive from the school my kids go to. The other morning we were running late, and as we were trying to race the kids into the car, my wife joked, "Where's that helicopter when you need it?" The fact is, helicopters aren't like cars in that regard. You can't just jump in your chopper and buzz off to where you want to go, and that's what I'd like to talk to you about today. To tell you the truth, it's something I hadn't really fully considered or understood before I took up learning to fly a helicopter, and that is the incredible care and attention to detail that helicopter pilots bring to their profession. And one very important part of that is the discipline of pre-flighting the machine. You see, every time you take a helicopter up, you must do a series of pre-flight checks. Because there are so many things to check and remember, I've been taught to start at one point and develop a systematic procedure to work around the machine. It typically takes me about 15 minutes to do the daily pre-flights, and in a minute we'll go out and I'll show you some of the main things that we're taught to check and inspect before we go up. Before we do that, let me show you two pretty cool things which you might not have seen before, which help keep helicopter pilots safe. Firstly, there's what's called teletemps. This is a heat-sensitive tape which is attached to the main bearings. The squares are designed to discolour when the bearings wear and heat up. Over time, each of the squares will progressively darken to indicate that the bearing has reached a certain temperature. Here's a teletemp on the main drive bearing. You can see that 3 of the squares are already discoloured, and although this is within normal limits, it's something that will need to be closely monitored. The other cool thing I want to show you here are what's called torque lines. Basically, every bolt on a helicopter has a torque stripe painted on it. What this does is give you a very quick and clear way to see if a bolt has moved or come loose. If the torque stripes don't line up exactly, you'll know that the bolt has potentially moved or come loose, and you must get it checked before you go flying. Anyway, that's just a couple of things that I wasn't aware of before, and I thought that you might also find interesting. Anyway, let's go out and have a walk around the helicopter now together.
So, I always start on the right hand side and work my way around. Here I am checking the drive belts and the lower teletemp. The Robinson R22 handbook lists in detail each of the points to check, and this is what I use so I don't miss anything. Here I am working my way down the tail boom, checking that everything is in order as I go. R22s are light enough to tilt back so that you can check the tail coupling by rotating the tail rotor by hand. I work my way back to the left hand side, checking everything as I go, including the oil level. One very important check to perform on helicopters is a visual fuel inspection. The main thing we're looking for is water in the fuel. You can see here what water in fuel looks like. It's the heavy liquid at the bottom of the bottle. The main rotor needs its own very careful inspection. Amongst other things I'm checking are the main hinge bolts, pitch link jam nuts and safety wires. The blades themselves, of course, must be checked to ensure they are clean and there is no damage or cracks. Once all the checks have been done and everything is in order, the machine is ready to fly.